Welcome, everyone, to the NoDQ.com live recap of AEW Dynamite for April 9th, 2025, the post-Dynasty edition of Dynamite. Let's get to it. Chat room, let me know your thoughts on the show. We kicked off with the world champion Jon Moxley cutting one of his rambling backstage promos about what happened at AEW Dynasty. He talked about the Young Bucks, how he doesn't recognize them anymore. He doesn't even wonder about them. He doesn't know what their game is, or they don't even know what their game is. He warned them to be really careful about what moves they make. And that led to our opening match of the evening, which was Jon Moxley versus Shibata. They did keep this relatively short, as I think they should. The world champion shouldn't be in these 20-minute bangers with, let's face it, a prelim guy. They didn't do too much of the chop exchanges. They did a little bit. Shibata did get in some offense, but ultimately Moxley was able to pick up a relatively easy win. He did gouge the eyes to get the upper hand and then picked up the win with the rear choke. It was fairly short, and I have no issues with that. Moxley wins, and then right after his victory, the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, showed up. Moxley left the ring, and they explained why they attacked Swerve Strickland at Dynasty. They said they did it for The Rock. No, they did it for their good friend, Hangman Adam Page, because after all, Page did not want Swerve becoming world champion again. They said they still love Page. They considered it a peace offering to the Death Riders. They have no issues with the Death Riders, and they even thought maybe they could all work together and form a unit. They invited Jon Moxley to come back out, but instead, we got Kenny Omega. And Omega said he forgave the Bucks for what they did to him the last time he was on TV. If you remember, he came out there after getting diverticulitis and they attacked him. He said that, with that being said, they almost killed the company that he gave his heart and soul to. And he told this story about dogs pooping and how that was similar to the Young Bucks in AEW as of late. And he said he wanted to fight. But then Okada came out there, 3-on-1. Swerve then showed up with a steel chair, and Swerve got on the mic. He said it's buck hunting season, and then he was attacked from behind by Pac, and that set up our first match of the evening. This was all one continuous segment. The Moxley promo, the match, and then the Bucks coming out there, and then Omega coming out there, and then Swerve coming out there, and then Pac, Neville attacking Swerve, all this in one segment. Took up about the first 30 minutes of the show. And then after the first commercial break, we did have a match with Swerve and Pac. Now, something must have happened here because Pac was rolled to the outside of the ring, and you had the doctor checking on him, and then they immediately went to the finish. Pac got back in the ring. He was kicked in the face. Swerve hit the stomp and got the win. Hopefully it's nothing too serious with Pac, but yeah, this felt like something happened, and the fact that they went right to the finish, I think, is a bit concerning. Afterwards, Swerve talked to the camera, and he essentially is challenging the Young Bucks to the blood and guts match. I wonder if we're not getting Anarchy in the Arena, and instead we're just going to go straight to Blood and Guts, which I'd be fine with. I know Anarchy in the Arena has been used at Double or Nothing, but why stretch it out with two of these types of wild, hardcore matches with tons of violence? You might as well just do Blood and Guts. And I think that that's perhaps what they're going to be doing at Double or Nothing. Swerve's team, probably with Omega, maybe Hangman Adam Page against the Young Bucks and the Death Riders. We'll see what they come up with. We had Ricochet with his team cutting a promo, and then Will Ospreay with his team cutting a promo. They were hyping up this match where the winning team would split up $400,000. And we'll talk about that in a second. Yes, when Swerve said Buck season, it made me think of that Looney Tunes cartoon with Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd. Classic cartoon there. Buck hunting season. We had an Owen Hart video package, the Owen Hart tournament, of course. And then we had Hangman Adam Page confronting Prince Nana backstage, and Page made it clear he wasn't trying to help Swerve at Dynasty. He warned Swerve to not get involved in his Owen Hart match. And then Nana said he had something to say to Page, but Page didn't want to hear any of it, and he just walked out, stormed out of the room, and we didn't find out what that was. Next up, we had our $400,000 match. We had Team Ricochet, which included Action Andretti, Lio Rush, and the Beast Mordos versus Team Will Ospreay, along with Mark Briscoe, Speedball Bailey, and Kevin Knight. And we had Ricochet playing the coward in this match. He kept tagging out, only getting in the ring when his team had the upper hand. The good guys cleared the ring. They all took turns doing dives to the outside. Ricochet attempted a dive but missed, and then they all slapped his bald head. And then after the commercial break, things broke down again. Will Ospreay hit the Oz Cutter to Mordos, and then Knight came off the top with the frog splash. Pin got broken up, and then Ospreay finished off the Beast Mordos with the hidden blade to win. I'm not sure why they just didn't have Kevin Knight get the win on Mordos. I mean, you're trying to build up Knight, right? Ospreay doesn't need the win, but nonetheless, fun little match here. Although, yeah, they all win $100,000. Seems like a very random idea for a match. Winners pick up $100,000 on a random Dynamite match. Why not like $100,000 for the winner of the main event of a pay-per-view? I don't know. Just seemed very random to me. Backstage, or not backstage, just at ringside, they talked about Adam Copeland, what happened to him being attacked by FTR at Dynasty, and they said that he is going to be out of action indefinitely. And Tony Schiavone ranted a little bit, said that not only was he disappointed, but he feels like Dax Harwood's little girl is also disappointed. Now, I said this was the most interesting thing about Dynasty. This was my favorite part of Dynasty, and FTR were not even on this show. They're going to be on Collision, I guess, to explain their actions, but they should have been on Dynamite. Like, this is a major storyline. Why are you having their promo on Collision? I don't know. We had the Hurt Syndicate come into the ring for their big celebration after retaining the tag team titles at Dynasty. They were having a toast, which was, of course, interrupted by MJF. MJF was posing with them, acting like he was part of the group. Bobby Lashley, very unamused. And MJF brought up how Tony Khan wanted him in the Owen Hart tournament, but he works smarter, not harder. And with the Hurt Syndicate by his side, he said he'll get to cut in line for a world title match. He said that he scratched their backs at Dynasty and now they'll scratch his. But Lashley told him to shut up. Lashley said that MJF did not get the job done. They don't need him. They were yelling back and forth at each other, and MJF said they'll settle it, thumbs up or thumbs down, if MJF was going to be part of the group. MJF got the thumbs down, and he was not initiated into the Hurt Syndicate. I enjoyed the segment. In my opinion, best thing on the show. Hurt Syndicate is great. But of course, people have pointed out, well, when the best part of your show is the guys that are 50 years old, you might have a problem, which I definitely get. I'm still intrigued where this thing with MJF is going. I guess we'll see. Backstage, we had a promo from Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Basically, Megan is still coming for Toni Storm in the women's world title. We then had Toni Storm on commentary for the Owen Hart tournament match, our women's match at 9:15. We had Thunder Rosa versus Kris Statlander. Back and forth competitive match here, but Thunder Rosa could not put away Statlander. Statlander kept kicking out. Thunder Rosa got frustrated, and Kris was able to capitalize on it, and she got the win with the Saturday Night Fever, the tombstone pile driver that she does, and Statlander advances in the Owen Hart tournament. I could see her potentially making the finals against Mercedes Moné. I think she's got a decent chance of making it to the end based off of their brackets. Match was solid. Backstage, we had Don Callis cutting a promo for the Owen Hart tournament, and he is now accepting new members, potential new members. He's accepting resumes. Maybe somebody can become a member of the Don Callis family. We'll see where this goes. We had a promo from the new TNT champion, Adam Cole, with Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. And Cole said that winning the TNT title was just the start for them. They got bigger plans in the future. I guess we'll see what happens with those guys. Shout out to Walter, who sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Walter. I appreciate it. Walter says, check your messenger, and sounds like Dynamite sucked. He said he's glad he went to see Minecraft with the kids, though. That movie wasn't good either, but better than Dynamite. Well, Jack Black to me is a very mixed bag. I loved School of Rock, but pretty much everything else he did, I was kind of meh about. Let me check Walter Cruz's message. So he asked about people subscribing to his channel. You guys should do this. Subscribe to Walter Cruz's channel, and he's got a little video clip, so I'll try to download that and upload that if I can here on the live stream. I'm not a great multitasker, Walter, but I'll try my best here. Let's get back to Dynamite. We had the learning tree, Chris Jericho, come into the ring to talk about his loss at the pay-per-view, losing the Ring of Honor World Championship to Bandito. Jericho did give him some credit. He gave him credit where credit is due, but then he called out Big Bill and Brian Keith to the ring. Jericho was about to say something, but Big Bill quickly grabbed the mic and said he wanted to learn from Jericho. However, he did not sign up to be Jericho's personal punching bag. And he He said that if that's what Jericho's planning to do, he wasn't going to have any part of it. Jericho responded. Jericho said that he cares about both of them. He sees both of them as future world champions, and that's why he brought them into the group. By the way, Walter, if you're listening, can you email me that clip? I cannot download it on Facebook. Somebody let Walter know in the chat. Back to Jericho. He said that Bill was not there when he lost the world championship, but he wasn't blaming Bill for the loss. However, he said he was not angry, but disappointed. And then Jericho smashed the TV, the Learning Tree 5000 television screen, whatever the hell they call it. And he kept repeating that he was just disappointed, but then he kept smashing the TV in anger and said that until things change with them, maybe the best thing for him is to leave. He walked out on his teammates, and the crowd was chanting, nah, 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 hey, 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 goodbye. And Jericho went to the backstage area, smashed some more things with his baseball bat, and then he got in the car and took his leave. Where does this go from here? I don't know. I don't care. I'll tell you what, the only thing that would make me care would be this. Enzo reuniting with Big Bill. If Brian Keith turns against Bill, stays with Jericho, and then Bill gets help of his friend Enzo, I'd be up for that. That would make me happy. I will give this storyline a big thumbs up if this is leading to the return of Enzo. Otherwise, I don't care. Dwayne Atkinson sent to the $2 super chat. Thank you for that, Dwayne. Says, Jericho's yearly leave of absence for Fozzy? You could be right, and Gangcast brought up Fozzy's tour, so that may be it. Jericho's taking some time off. Big Bill and Brian Keith might be a tag team on Collision for a while or Ring of Honor and might not be doing much of anything for a bit. But I really hope we get to see Enzo back. I know he's not your 5-star wrestler that's going to have all the bangers, but I miss the guy, and I'd like to see him get another shot. I really would. But thank you for that, Dwayne, and I did get your video, Walter, so I will go ahead and try to upload that, although I'm having issues, so bear with me here. We had a backstage segment with the Hurt Syndicate. They cut a promo, and then Lashley and Benjamin walked off, and then MJF came in the room, vented to MVP. MVP brought up something about business, and MJF was thinking about something. He's got some sort of an idea. We'll see where that goes. This storyline does have me intrigued. I think this is one of the more interesting storylines in AEW right now. We had our main event of the evening, Claudio and Wheeler Yuta against Samoa Joe and Hook, the Ops. Pretty standard tag team match here. They were working over Hook, and then Joe got knocked off the apron. Hook could not get the tag, but he did manage to make a comeback. He put on Red Rum to Wheeler Yuta. John Moxley ran out there for the interference, and then Yuta gouged the eyes of Hook. And then Shibata showed up to even the odds. He attacked Moxley. And then Hook was able to get Red Rum again on Yuta. Joe put Claudio in a coquina clutch on the outside of the ring, and Yuta was tapped out or passed out or whatever. Ops got the win. They picked up the victory, and then afterwards, Marina Shafir came out there. We had the post-match attack, and then they took a chair. Claudio ended up giving Hook the neutralizer onto a chair. Now, it should be noted there was no Pac. he was not out here for this post-match segment. So I don't know if that's a good sign that he wasn't there. Hopefully he's not seriously hurt. Joe was very angry after the Death Riders left. He got on the mic and he said that they are coming for the trios titles. So I don't know if Pac will be in this or not, but the Ops, they are coming for the trios titles, and I could see them potentially being part of this blood and guts match, depending on how many people are in the match. You know, you got the Death Riders and the Elite. That's like 7 guys, 6 guys maybe. And then you got Swerve and Omega and whoever else they can get on their team. Maybe the Ops. So that was Dynamite. It was a solid show. Pretty standard though, not too eventful. Mostly skippable stuff, but we had a few good segments here. I do like the Hurt Syndicate. To me, that's a very entertaining storyline. The Jericho one, again, unless Enzo shows up, I don't care. The Bucks stuff, it's all right. You know, I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's just kind of okay. And that's more or less what I felt about the show. Not too much I really liked or disliked. You know, it was just your fairly standard wrestling show. So therefore, I think I'm just going to go 5 points out of 10 for the show. It was all right. It was a fine wrestling show, fine 2-hour program. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. Now, before I sign off here, this is a video that is coming from Walter Cruz regarding his YouTube channel.
Hey, you there? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Don't you know it's a sin to watch without subscribing? That's right. Make sure you're subscribed right now to Rage of Wrestling. Would you really want to miss their shenanigans Saturday? That's right. Subscribe. And if you're on Twitch, which I know you are, because all the cool cats are, make sure you're also subscribing to SRS 1983. I mean, come on. What are you doing just watching? Make that commitment. Be a part of the 1%, the best at everything. Even I've done it. That's right. Subscribe now. Why? Because La Princesa said so. Don't make me repeat. Subscribe. Rage of Wrestling. Rage of Wrestling. Say it with me. YouTube now. Rage of Wrestling, subscribe on YouTube. And if you're on Twitch, you better subscribe to SRS 1983. Get it? Got it? Bueno.
There you have it. There was a promo for Walter Cruz's Rage of Wrestling YouTube channel. So check that out. Follow him. He's been a big part of the channel for several years now. Much love to Walter Cruz, the reliable one. And thank you guys for tuning in for the Dynamite recap. We got some stuff coming up on the No DQ channel. We got 3 more shows before WrestleMania. SmackDown, 2 SmackDowns, Raw. We also got the No DQ review next week. Make sure you guys tune in for that. And we got predictions this weekend on the No DQ YouTube channel. It's going to be a very busy WrestleMania season. You can see the schedule right here beginning this Friday. This is the NoDQ.com live stream schedule for pretty much the rest of the month as we come close to WrestleMania. We got the predictions. We got No DQ&A video coming up next Thursday, April 17th. And of course, the WrestleMania recaps, NXT Hall of Fame, all that stuff, plus the Dynamite recaps. So make sure you guys stay tuned to NoDQ.com. Please spread the word. Tell a friend. Any word of mouth is very helpful, helps the channel, and it's greatly appreciated. See you guys on Friday for SmackDown. All I got to say is say yes to NoDQ.com. And I will see you all next time.